Got 4 tokens in the fork now, and it's just starting to feel like I've got control again. This C1 spring. I know I said I like it, but getting it on a variety of different trails is starting to show some weakness. Whoa, almost missed the line. Certainly got a little better control now than I did. At speed at least, and on this choppy stuff. Back's at a 163 middle compression, and I had a bit of a bottom out at the start there, so I could do with a little more, get it up a little higher in its travel. Whew, that was cool. Hey buddy. Yeah, that was more control. This C1 springs begs for tokens and a soft off the top, so 82, 4 tokens and 4 clicks of compression. That felt quite controlled. That was good.
So you can see I've been faffing around. That run, Brownhill Creek, Brownies Left I think it's called. Did a few runs out this morning. We did a 20k ride there, lapping it, back past the car, lapping it, back past the car. So had the opportunity to make some changes and feel it out. So my go-to setup that I've been running, that's kind of it was a compromise. It's not really supple. It's never been supple, but I've had reasonable control. But coming into this trail and a couple of other trails, Horsies the other day, G'ing out, I either have to run it stiff enough so I don't G out on it, so I've still got support on G outs, or if I run it soft enough to be smooth, if I run it stiff enough for the G outs, it's choppy everywhere and it deflects. So I've gone from 3 tokens to 4 tokens now. 82 PSI, I've gone from 3 at 85 to 4 at 82. I started at 80 today, I did a few laps. When I went to the 4th token, I started at 80 PSI and it was still divey. It was still just divey and then rough as guts down the bottom. 82 brought it up just enough to hold me up and it felt much stronger, and that was the run that I just did. So I've been playing around with it a lot, and compression wise, regardless of what spring pressure and configuration I end up with and the different ones I've tried, I always come back to 4 clicks of compression. 5 clicks is a little bit stout, but it works well if I'm running too soft a spring. It's a good fill-in, but I prefer it a little lighter on the compression there. 4 clicks feels a little better, and then lean a little bit more on spring for support. So I was convinced that the C1's the go, but I'm still playing. I'm still messing around. To be honest, it feels almost identical to the old Solo Air spring. It's more supportive off the top, but it's like fake support. I'd call it fake support. It's like it wheels you into, oh yeah, my fork's good enough for supportive, and then you start charging down some stuff where you're kudum, and you're landing hard down stuff, and you need to be pumping that front off of the landing. It's just disappearing, so you're having to split second let it happen and deal with it, like account for it, and then you're on again. So I don't like that. I don't like it's not filling me with confidence. So, and it's slowing me down with the bike in general. I know I've had a couple of real fast runs and it's been feeling good. It's had moments of absolute shining when everything's right on the sweet spot. There's a very, very, very narrow sweet spot of performance on that fork in that configuration that I've been running, the 2 or the 3 tokens, for the speed that I'm riding. It's all relative to the speed you're riding as well. So how I've got it now would feel rubbish at slower speed. Absolutely rubbish, just choppy and terrible. But at speed, that's where I'm setting it up for. The rear shot, could do a little more. I was bottoming it out on that run a little bit. Could do a little bit more pressure, so I'm still trying to work out where I want that rear to sit. A little bit of playing around. But for the most part, it's a fast bike. It's a fast bike. So, but I've got to be able to control it. There's no point in having a real fast bike if you can't hang on to it and point it. And it's the old Aaron Gwynn saying, ride the bike or else the bike will ride you. And I don't want this thing riding me, because you never know where you're going to end up in the bushes or off the side of the track or into the trees. You don't need that. You just want control and then send. So we're getting there. We're getting close. So that's just a little bit of an update on what's going on with the fork. My next port of call is I'm going to spend a bit more time on this 4 tokens. I don't like it, to be honest. I don't like what it does to the rest of the characteristic of the fork. It's given me more control, but it feels a little bit whack elsewhere. So like the rebound stroke feels a bit weird. The popping and stuff feels a little bit different. Something I can get used to, for sure, if it ends up being the best scenario for it. But I think I'm going to go spring out, B1 spring in with the C1 foot nut and see what that does. Obviously, it's going to give me the little bit extra travel that I want. It's 165 or 164 with the B1 spring in there. So B1 with the longer foot nut at the bottom hopefully brings me back up to 170, so I can keep my ride height good, keep my sag reasonable, and should be more supple. I know we've already been back and forth through this process once, but try again. If first don't succeed or get to where you want, try again. So I'm just not satisfied that it's where it should be. It's for such a high-end bike, it should be performing better. For sure, the fork should be performing better. I've got another little thing up my sleeve, hopefully testing a Fox 38 next week. That'll be rad. Really looking forward to that. And full review of this bike coming very, very soon as well. Once I get this stuff, because I don't really want to review it with a clapped or a poorly set up fork, because I'm not giving you the full flavour. I need to know how this feels when everything's optimal, instead of I'm riding and kind of accounting for a fork that's a little divey or a little bit less controlled, so I'm braking early and things like that. I want full send, and you've seen already that I can go full send when it is singing, when it's right on that sweet spot. But I need the fork a little bit more versatile. I need it to be set up to perform on a wider variety of trails, and that's the problem that I've been having at the moment. So the trails that I'm usually riding, I had it pretty sweet, then go somewhere else, and it's really not the same. So just a little rant there, let you know, keep us updated, and we're getting there. She's going to be swinging soon. I'll give her a clean and leave the spring in for now, but yeah, that's the next step. So stay tuned for the 38 review, and stay tuned for this review for sure. We'll get this Lyrik singing.